Space is cold, silent, and filled with people making catastrophically bad decisions, according to pretty much every sci-fi series ever made. But for this next game, Luke and I are amped. We both adore the Expanse, the lore, the politics, the sheer, oh great another disaster energy. So seeing Owlcat have a proper go at a hard sci-fi RPG in this universe, yep, we're pretty dialed in on it. So this is the Expanse Osiris Reborn, a grounded story-driven RPG that might actually scratch that old school Mass Effect itch, without needing aliens, space magic, or any mysteriously blue romance options. My name is Tom and this is LT Gaming. If you're new here, we dive deep into strategy, systems and sci-fi worlds that actually have something to say. And if you're not new, welcome back you lovely lot. Alright, today we're taking a proper look at the Expanse Osiris Reborn that just dropped some new materials. So if you like these sort of features and previews, drop a like on the video, it helps us immensely on the YouTube algorithm. Drop a comment with your thoughts so we can interact in the comments. And of course subscribe if you like what we do here. Alright, let's roll. So let's start with what actually Osiris Reborn is. In short, it's Owlcat stepping out of their CRPG comfort zone and going fully third-person, story-driven sci-fi RPG, set right in the thick of the Expanse timeline. Now, you're not going to play as any of the known characters or usual suspects. You're a pink water security merc, an Earther, Martian or Belter that you fully create yourself, who just happens to be on Eros at the exact time everything goes catastrophically sideways. You survive this nightmare, you nick Protogen's most advanced ship in the system, and suddenly you're caught between Earth, Mars, the Belt, and one very angry megacorporation who would like their toy back. And unlike most RPGs, your origin isn't just a flavor choice, so whether you want to be a Belter who gets side-eyed in every corridor, or a Martian with a harsh military edge, the world will react, dialogues shift, and quest options open or close, and people will treat you very differently, depending on where you're from, just like real life unfortunately. But to sum up, this is a grounded Expanse story running parallel with the first two books, with you weaving through the chaos rather than rewriting canon, which I actually love and Luke does too. You're not the hero of the system, you're just trying to survive it. So Owlcat are trying to make character creation actually matter in Osiris Reborn. So if you choose to be an Earther, Martian or Belter, the world will react properly around you. So Belders will throw slang at you, Martians treat you like military stock, and Earthers, well, everyone has a different opinion about Earthers. You also start the game with a twin, Jay, who becomes your first squad mate. A nice little clever narrative hook here, instant emotional stakes without 20 hours of warm up. Then Owlcat has also ditched rigid classes too, no pick your role and stick with it. You choose a starting profile, then freely build into combat, persuasion, science, whatever is going to fit your style. All checks are pass-fail. If you've got the skill, the option is there. If you don't, it isn't. Simple, clean, very Expanse. No dice rolls, no space magic, just solving your problems with tools that you've invested in. I'm somewhat on the fence with this system. I'll have to see how it plays out in practice, but I'm intrigued for sure. Now, I gotta say, when I've seen the combat in Osiris Reborn, it's very much in the Mass Effect vein. Proper third-person, cover-based shooting. But without any biotic wizardry, it's all tech, tactics, and good old-fashioned ballistics, just as you would expect from an Expanse game. You've got modern firearms, special ammo types, gadgets that highlight enemies through walls, all the cool grounded tech you'd want. Owlcat are very clear about this. No magic, no nonsense of that variety. I love magic games, just for the record, but this is very on point for this universe. High-tech gear doing high-tech things. You can take 2 squad mates with you at a time and actually direct them, tell them who to shoot, when to use their abilities, and even when to trigger environmental takedowns, which sounds really intriguing to me. Pipes burst, supports collapse, things explode, maybe intentionally or unintentionally. But every companion will also have a speciality, hacker, sniper, demolitions, things of these variety. And apparently even the ones you don't bring along will help from afar, so this is a very cool concept. So someone back at the ship might be feeding intel, hacking defenses, or sniping from half a station away. The whole crew will feel involved. Environments aren't going to play nice either, cover can get shredded, debris can fly everywhere, and you'll need to move and adapt constantly. So think more faster and dynamic, not the typical fare you expect from Owlcat, and I mean that in a very good way. Now I have to highlight a part that really grabbed me, Zero G. Owlcat didn't wing it here. They brought in a former NASA astronaut to walk them through the realities of moving, fighting and staying alive in space. And I find it genuinely interesting hearing him talk about the tiny details, like how recoil will actually affect your body, how you're going to rely on touch and vibration rather than sound. Loads of fascinating little details. Owlcat take all of that and then translate it into the gameplay, while still keeping an eye on the fun, so you're not spending the whole mission just tumbling about in the void. In Zero G, you're going to use mag boots to walk along hulls and ceilings. Firefights play out with drifting debris, and bullets travel in perfect straight lines. Spent casings float off, blood will bead up, all those little details you'd love to have in an Expanse story, but now you're in the middle of it. And coming on to the sound design, I found this absolutely fascinating. We all know there is no sound in space, but Owlcat don't just mute everything. You hear the hum of your suit, the thump of your mag boots, the bassy vibration of the weapon through your gloves, and your own breathing cutting through the silence. It's going to be subtle, but it will show a level of care you don't often see. And that is a massive hook with this game. No other RPG is doing this right now, and honestly, I love the approach. Another aspect I'm really going to enjoy, I think, is going to be how your crew actually feels like a crew. Everyone will have a clear role: sniper, hacker, demolitions, as I said before. And not only will they help you from afar, but they'll also not just be background noise either. They'll react to your choices, challenge you, and in true Expanse fashion, some of them will absolutely not like what you do. Earn their trust and you're going to get deeper arcs, personal missions, and yes, even a bit of romance if you fancy that sort of thing. It will neatly tie into the bigger picture. The game is about choices, factions and consequences. Earth, Mars, the Belt, they're all tugging in different directions and you're right in the middle of it. Your background, your actions, even small choices can change how areas will play out. One early example they gave is whether civilians live or die on a station mission, and it shifts the next level's layout, and also how the characters will talk to you. So exactly the type of storytelling you'd expect: morally grey, politically messy, and no clean answers. The best part is there's no rewriting of canon, you're navigating it. Holden's broadcasts still happen, Ganymede still suffers, but your story weaves through the cracks, shaping who survives and who ends up spaced. Now, I know a big question some of you might have is, okay Tom, is this basically going to be Mass Effect in the Expanse? And the honest answer is sort of, but not really. Structurally, yeah, you're going to feel that Mass Effect DNA. But the feel looks completely different. Mass Effect is a space opera, aliens, biotics, ancient galaxy-ending threats. Osiris Reborn is hard sci-fi. Recoil is going to matter, bullets fly straight in a vacuum, nobody's throwing enemies across the room with any space magic. It's actually closer for me to what the Outer Worlds is in structure. It looks like hub areas, faction drama, skill checks that open up new paths, but without the satire or the pulpy tone. This is pure Expanse, political tension, messy decisions, and a lot of you're doing your best in a terrible situation energy. So if you love the squad dynamics of Mass Effect, but you want something more grounded, or if you like Outer Worlds freedom but you want some higher stakes maybe, this sits comfortably in the middle for me, familiar enough to jump into, but with enough new ideas to feel fresh, whether you're a fan of the Expanse or not. Alright, you guys know I love a pros and cons section because Osiris Reborn has a lot going for it, but I'd be letting you guys down if I didn't mention some of my concerns. Kicking off with the strengths, I feel the Zero G stuff is genuinely fresh. It's not a gimmick, it's going to change how you move, aim, even how you hear. And this is when a studio is actually doing its homework, and it will give the game a strong identity if they get it right, because no one else has done this right now. I also feel that the narrative potential is huge here. A proper Expanse story, grounded, messy, political, with choices that will change areas, body counts, and who is actually bloody going to talk to you after all the massacres. I also gotta say that Owlcat has a strong pedigree of good character writing, so to be in a fully cinematic RPG could be a massive highlight with them at the helm. And then lastly, the hard sci-fi detail is spot on. NASA consultation, proper physics, correct sound treatment in a vacuum is the kind of care that I feel fans and even those just curious about this game will really appreciate. Now, to balance this out with some concerns that I currently have, firstly, Owlcat launches have always been very, let's say, enthusiastic, but they have had their share of bugs on these, so polish is going to be a big unknown here. Combat needs to feel good, not just accurate, of course. The systems are extremely promising, but third-person gunplay lives and dies on responsiveness. If it feels slightly off, players will notice. And then the hub and mission structure is also not for everyone. It's not open world, it's not fully linear, it's a middle ground that works well in theory, but it does depend strongly on how varied and interesting each location ends up being. But honestly, if Owlcat can deliver a solid combat feel and the rest of the stuff that they're talking about, this game could really stand out and be a proper sci-fi RPG contender. So after digging through everything we've seen so far, I have a genuine hope for Osiris Reborn. It has ambition, it's still grounded, and it's doing things that most sci-fi RPGs simply won't attempt. I feel like Owlcat is trying to build the first proper Expanse experience, rather than just slapping the logo on a generic shooter. And as someone who loves this universe, and I can speak for Luke here too, we've been waiting a long time for a grounded sci-fi RPG with some real consequences and real mechanics, and that's very exciting to me. Will everything land perfectly? Hard to say. Combat's going to need to feel tight, performance needs to be stable, and the writing will need to carry the weight of this setting. But if those pieces can come together, this could be something special. And that's my take. I want to hear yours now. Are you excited for this game? Does the hard sci-fi angle do it for you? And who are you going to roll with first? Earther, Martian, Builder? If you've enjoyed the breakdown, give the video a like, it really helps us. Drop your thoughts below, of course. And if you feel I've earned it, feel free to subscribe too. Thanks for watching LT Gaming, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye now.